Joining us now, former Trump campaign aide Rick Gates, who was caught up in the Trump-Russia collusion claims. Plus, we also have the director of research at the Government Accountability Institute, Seamus Bruner. And joining us on set throughout the day is Newsmax contributor, the very wonderful Deneen Borelli. Okay, good to see all three of you. Rick, I want to start with you. Tulsi Gabbard has come out and said that there must be indictments for those responsible in this. Does that mean former President Obama? What does this look like?
Yeah, look, if the evidence leads up to that, absolutely. Like, we were privy to a lot of this in discovery when we went through the Mueller probe. And there are instances where there's no question Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and others were in meetings. Whether or not they made critical decisions in those meetings impacting what the intelligence community did, hopefully the evidence will show that. Look, I'm just glad that finally we're getting more transparency. But the transparency is not enough. It's got to lead to accountability. So I think as Tulsi Gabbard's uncovered this, it goes to the DOJ. My hope is that Pam Bondi really focuses on this. And look, if there is criminal misconduct, if there's criminal wrongdoing, then it absolutely should be brought to account. If there's not, then come out and say that. But let's see where the documents go. But I think this is a big breakthrough. This is the tip of the iceberg, by the way. There's a lot more information out there. Whether it gets released or not, we'll see it, over the next coming weeks.
Seamus, we are just hearing that the DOJ has acknowledged receipt of Gabbard's submission, so we'll see where it goes from there. And again, she had submitted that report. DOJ says, check, we received it. Seamus, if there is wrongdoing, criminal wrongdoing that is proven, how important do you think it is to treat this as a criminal issue as opposed to a political one?
Yeah, if there's criminal wrongdoing, they need to go to jail. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. And if they're not, if Obama's inner circle skates on this, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, the rest of them, if they skate on this, we can kiss fair elections goodbye. This will tell future presidents that you can use your intelligence agencies to manufacture dirt against your political opponent. And, this will go on and on and on. The only way to stop this is through prosecutions. You saw this with the FARA filings. FARA filings were through the floor. Then they trumped up charges against people close to Trump. And all of a sudden, everybody's filing under FARA again. So accountability is the only way to fix problems like this.
Deneen, obviously President Trump feels a certain way about this, or else he wouldn't have posted that AI-generated video from the Oval Office. What do you think happens?
I was very happy to see that video, as a matter of fact, because it is very telling, first of all. Thank goodness President Trump was reelected. Thank goodness this information is coming out, because he was right in the first place early on. This is an epic scandal, in my view. Many voters were persuaded by this whole Russia nonsense early on. And the media played a huge role in this as well, because they kept beating the drums for the Democrats. It comes down to power and control for the Democrats, and they were willing to lie over and over again. And let me just mention the number of people that were under oath when all this was going down. What's going to happen to them as well?
Yeah, Rick, you were obviously working with the Trump administration during all of this Russian collusion accusations. What was it like being caught in the middle of something that simply wasn't true?
Oh, it was horrible. I mean, you look at what happened to each and every one of us, and throughout the process, you start learning more and more information. And the question that first came to mind is, how in the world could people in our intelligence community actually fabricate some of this stuff? Why would they do that for political reasons against other Americans? It's not like we were attacking Russians or Chinese. And so, again, the more that was disclosed, the more that came out, the more transparent it became, the more we realized that this was absolutely a weaponized political issue. And that's my only fear with moving forward now, is that the Democrats are going to say, of course, this is politicized. But yet we have to have accountability. We have to have transparency. Certainly do.
Seamus, according to Tulsi Gabbard, all these documents contradicted that there was a collusion. She went on to write that it just wasn't there. It said the exact opposite, in fact, that Russia didn't have this ability. So why in the world do you think that they would continue to perpetuate that?
Yeah, well, people need to remember why they chose Russia. Why did they make up the hoax involving Russia? It's because the Democrats, starting with Barack Obama, but especially Hillary Clinton, even John Podesta, they had a appeasement strategy during the Obama administration. It was called the Russia Reset, where they made all of these deals with Russia. They gave Russia all of their spies back. They canceled missile defense in Poland. Hillary Clinton famously approved the sale of uranium to to Russia after receiving huge donations to her foundation. Bill Clinton gave a speech in Moscow for $500,000. As that was starting to pop up in the media cycles in 2015, they had to make up a projection deception. And so they chose Russia because that was Hillary Clinton's largest liability. Did it matter that Russia was actually hacking or stealing our election? No, they buried any evidence that Russia was not hacking our elections, and they just kept reading from the same song sheet so that it was kind of a he said, she said situation, and they blamed it all on Trump.
All right, well, we're going to have to see how it plays out. Again, the DOJ has received Tulsi Gabbard's report. We're going to see what happens next. Rick, Seamus, Deneen, thank you.